There's something I want to tell you, to skinig, or to you, to listen to me, to you with an open heart, because what I'm going to share with you isn't just another piece of advice you find anywhere, right? This is something that has been passed down through generations, something grandparents whispered to their children when life got tough, when money wasn't enough, when doors kept closing one after another, and it seemed like the entire universe was conspiring against you. Maybe you're going through something similar right now. Maybe you feel like no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you try, no matter how early you get up and how late you go to bed, money just slips through your fingers like water. Maybe you look around you and see how others are prospering, how others are receiving opportunities that never come to you. And you silently ask yourself in that voice that only you can hear, what am I doing wrong? Why not me? Why does abundance elude me as if I don't deserve it? I understand you. I understand you more than you can imagine, because I have been there in that dark middle, in that dark place where hopelessness sits by your side like an unsolicited companion, where every bill that arrives feels like a blow, where every end of the month is a battle that seems impossible to win. And it is precisely from that place, from that deep understanding of the pain that scarcity causes, that I want to talk to you today about something that can change your life. I am not asking you to believe blindly. I am asking you to listen with that part of you that still has a say, with that part that despite everything continues to search for a way out, a path, a light. Because ancient wisdom, the kind that is not taught in universities or found in textbooks, the wisdom that is passed down by word of mouth from heart to heart, tells us about natural elements that have a power that modern science is only just beginning to understand bien. And among all those elements, there is one that has been revered for thousands of years by cultures as diverse as the Japanese, Chinese, Egyptian, Greek, and the ancestral tradition of Latin America. That element is vinegar. Yes, vinegar. That humble liquid that you probably have in your kitchen right now, the one you use to dress salads or clean surfaces, the one that you may not even give much thought to. But let me tell you something. The great secrets of life have always been hidden in the simplest, most ordinary things, in those things that everyone overlooks because they're too busy looking for complicated solutions. When I was young, my grandmother taught me something that I have never forgotten. He told me, son, the most powerful things in this world are not the most expensive or the hardest to find. The most powerful things are those that nature gives us, those that are within everyone's reach, those that don't need fancy packaging or branded labels. And he was right. He was absolutely right. Because vinegar, that clear liquid with the strong smell that many despise, has been used for millennia as a powerful cleansing agent, not only physically, but energetically. And when I talk about energetic cleansing, I'm not talking about magic or superstition. I'm talking about something that has deep roots in the understanding of how energy works in our spaces, in our lives, in our bodies. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever entered a place and felt that something wasn't right? You couldn't put it into words. There was nothing visible that was out of place, but your body felt it. What? That heavy feeling in your chest, that inexplicable discomfort, that desire to get out of there as quickly as possible. That, my friend, is it. Mine, it's energy. It's the energy of the place speaking to you, communicating with you through a language that goes beyond words. And just as there are places that make you feel uncomfortable, there are places that when you enter, you feel peace, you feel harmony, you feel that everything is fine. The difference between one and another often has nothing to do with the decoration or the furniture. It has to do with the energy that inhabits that space. And this is where vinegar comes into play, with a power that will surprise you, because a natural ability to absorb, neutralize, and transform negative energy. And this is not something I'm making up. The wisest cultures on the planet have always known this aim. In Japan, where I grew up learning the value of discipline and respect for tradition, rice vinegar has been used in ways for centuries, not only as a food, but as a purifying element. And Buddhist monks used it to clean temples, not only for its antibacterial properties, but because they understood that it cleansed something deeper, something that the eyes cannot see, but that the soul can feel. Now, listen carefully, because what I'm going to tell you next is what really matters. There are three specific places, three strategic points where placing vinegar can completely transform the energy of your home. The abundance you've been looking for, and remove everything that has been blocking you. And these are not random places. They are brichik that have been identified by ancestral wisdom as energy centers of the home, places where energy concentrates, stagnates, or flows, depending on how we treat them. The first and perhaps most important place of all is the entrance to your home. The main door, that threshold that you cross every day without thinking. That place that for you is just another step between the outside and the inside, but which is actually much more than that. The entrance to your home is like the mouth of your house. It's where everything enters. Energy, opportunities, abundance, but also problems, envy, and the bad intentions of others. Think about how many people cross that door. Think about how many different energies enter through there every day. The mailman who comes loaded with worries, the neighbor who it happens with your frustrations, the debt collector who brings the energy of debt and pressure. All of that comes through your door. All of that stays impregnated in that space, accumulating day after day, week after week, month after month, until the entrance to your home becomes a dirty filter that can no longer let anything good through. And you know what happens when the entrance to your home is energetically blocked? Exactly what you are experiencing now happens. Opportunities do not arrive. Money does not enter. Good things by as if your house were invisible. And it is not that the universe has forgotten you. It is not that God has turned his back on you. It is that the door through which blessing should enter is obstructed, covered with layers and layers of heavy energy that you yourself unknowingly have allowed to accumulate. So, what you are going to do is very simple but profoundly powerful. You are going to take a glass cup without colors, without designs, a simple and clean glass. You are going to fill it halfway with white vinegar, the purest you can find. And you are going to place that glass behind your door, in a place where it won't be thrown away, where it won't be a nuisance, but where it's present, doing its silent work. Because vinegar works silently, like the great things in life. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't draw attention, it doesn't need applause or recognition. It simply works, absorbs, cleanses, transforms, and leave it there for 7 days. 7 full days, 7. And when those 7 days are up, observe the vinegar. Look at it carefully. You'll notice something extraordinary. The vinegar that was transparent and clean will now be cloudy, dark, sometimes even with bubbles or strangely on the surface. That, my friend, is all the negative energy that was blocked your entrance, all that heaviness that prevented good things from coming into your life. The vinegar absorbed it, absorbed it, removed it from your space. And when you pour vinegar down the drain with running water, you are literally letting go of everything that was holding you back. But don't stop there. Don't think that once is enough. Energy cleansing is like cleansing physical. It requires consistency, discipline, and commitment. Every 7 days, renew that glass. Every 7 days, give your home the opportunity to breathe, to let go, to free itself. And you will notice, I promise you, that things begin to change, not overnight. Because real things never work that way. But little by little, like a seed that germinates underground where no one sees it, changes will begin to manifest. Now let's go to the second secret place. And this is one that very few people know about, because it is a place that we all have, but that almost no one pays energetic attention to. I'm talking about the kitchen. Yes, the kitchen. It's the place where you prepare the food that nourishes your body and that of your family. That place that for many is just a functional space, a place where beans are cooked and water is boiled. But the kitchen in ancestral wisdom is much more than that. The kitchen is the heart of the home. It is the center of abundance. It is the place where wealth manifests itself in the most basic and fundamental way, through food. Have you ever heard what is the expression, having a full pot? In many cultures, a full kitchen, a pot that always has something in it, is a symbol of prosperity, abundance, and that the family is well off. Conversely, an empty, neglected, dirty kitchen is a reflection of scarcity, lack, and that something is not flowing as it should. And I'm not just talking about having money to buy food. I'm talking about something deeper. I'm talking about the energy that governs the relationship between your home and abundance. In the tradition of feng shui, which is the ancient Chinese art of harmonizing spaces, the kitchen is directly related to economic prosperity. Feng shui masters say that the state of a kitchen reflects the state of your finances. A clean, tidy, lovingly cared for kitchen attracts wealth. A dirty, messy, neglected kitchen repels it. And this has a logic that goes beyond the mystical. Because when you take care of your kitchen, you are sending a message to the universe, to life, to God, whatever you want to call it, that you are a person who values what you have, who takes care of your resources, who respects us, respects blessings that receives. And the universe responds to that. It always responds. So, the second secret place where you are going to put vinegar is in your kitchen, specifically near the stove or the place where you cook, or going to take another clear, clean glass cup, and you are going to fill it halfway with vinegar. But this time you are going to add something special. 3 grains of rice. Just 3. No more. Why rice? Because rice is the universal symbol of abundance. At weddings, rice is thrown to wish prosperity to the bride and groom. In Asia, rice is synonymous with life, wealth, blessing. It is the food that has sustained entire civilizations for millennia. And when you combine the purifying power of vinegar with the attractive power of rice, you create something extraordinary, kind of energy magnet that cleanses the negativity from your kitchen and at the same time attracts the energy of abundance. Place that cup in a corner of your kitchen where it is safe, where it can work without interruptions. And again, leave it for 7 days. 7 days during which that small container will be doing its silent work, cleaning what you cannot see, but which your wallet can feel it. And when you renew that glass, when you throw away the old vinegar and put in a new one with its 3 grains of rice, do it with intention. Do it gratitude. Do it thinking about the abundance you desire, not from desperation, but from faith. Because there is a huge difference between asking from fear and asking from trust. Fear repels, trust brings. I have traveled to many countries. I have gotten to know many cultures. And in all of them, absolutely in all of them, I have encountered this same principle. The intention with which you do things determines the results you get. You can do the most elaborate ritual in the world, but if you do it with doubt, with skepticism, it will not work. On the other hand, you can do something as simple as placing a glass of vinegar in your kitchen. But if you do it with genuine faith, with deep conviction, with the certainty that you are opening a channel for abundance to enter your life, the results will leave you speechless. And that brings me to something fundamental that I need to tell you before I tell you about the third secret place. Many people tell me, they ask, Kenji, does this really work? A simple glass of vinegar can change my financial situation. And I always answer the same. Vinegar alone is not going to deposit money in your bank account. It is not going to make money rain down from the sky. That would be magical thinking. And magical thinking is the enemy of true transformation. What vinegar does is something much deeper and much more powerful. It cleanses the space where you live, removes the energy that is blocking you, creates the conditions so that opportunities can come to you. But then My friend, you have to take action. You have to work. You have to go out and look for what you want with the same discipline and the same consistency with which you renew that glass every 7 days. Vinegar opens the door, but you are the one who has to walk through it. And this is something I learned in Japan. In a culture where discipline is not optional, it is a way of life. The Japanese have a concept called kaizen, which means continuous improvement, the small steps every day, small, consistent actions that over time produce extraordinary results. And placing vinegar in these strategic points in your home is exactly that, a small step, a small action that is part of a larger process of transforming your life and your relationship with abundance. Now, let's talk about the third secret place. And this, for me, the most powerful of all, because it touches on an aspect of that is absolutely fundamental to your prosperity and that most people completely neglect. The third place is your bathroom. Yes, your bathroom. The place where you cleanse yourself, where you renew yourself, where you literally let go of what your body no longer needs. The bathroom, in energetic terms, is the place where the energy leaves your home. It is the drain, the vanishing point, the conduit through which not only the water, but also the energy goes. And here is the problem that most people do not understand. If your bathroom is not energetically balanced, it becomes a black hole that sucks all the good energy out of your home, including the energy of money. Have you ever felt like your money is going away as quickly as it comes? Barely getting paid means nothing left that a batter. A gaping hole seems to drain your assets, and there is nothing you can possibly do to stop it. Well, let me tell you that hole is often literal. It is your bathroom. It is that door that you leave open. It is that uncovered drain. It is that flows out without any filter, dragging with it all the good that comes in through your front door. In Feng Shui, it is said that the bathroom is the most vulnerable point of any home in terms of prosperity. That is why in many ancient houses in China and Japan, the bathroom was located outside the main house, separate, isolated, because the wise men of those own cultures understood that mixing the energy of the drain with the energy of home was dangerous for the prosperity of the family. Now, I am not telling you to move your bathroom outside your house. That would be absurd. What I'm telling you is that you need to neutralize the energy in your bathroom so that it stops draining your abundance. And the way to do that is with vinegar. You're going to take a third clean, clear glass cup and fill it halfway with vinegar. But this time, unlike the other two, you're gonna add a handful, of course, salt. Salt has been recognized since time immemorial as one of the most powerful elements of protection and purification. In ancient times, salt was so valuable that it was used as currency. The word salary comes from the Latin word salarium, which means salt rations, as Roman soldiers were paid in salt. And when you combine the power of vinegar with the power of salt, you create an energetic barrier that prevents good energy from escaping down the drain in your bathroom. Place that cup near the toilet or near the main drain in your bathroom. That's the critical point. The point where energy leaks out, and the vinegar with salt will work there like a silent guardian, trapping the negative energy that tries to enter and retaining the positive energy that tries to escape. It's like putting an invisible sentinel at the back door of your house, a guardian who never sleeps, who never gets distracted, who's there 24/7, protecting your prosperity. And just like with the other two glasses, renew it every 7 days. Flush the old vinegar and salt down the toilet, let the water run, and prepare a new one. Each time you do this, do it with awareness, with intention, with gratitude. Be grateful for what you have, no matter how much. Be grateful for the roof over your head, for the water running in your bathroom, for the food in your kitchen. Because gratitude is the language that the universe understands best. Gratitude is the frequency at which abundance vibrates. And when you are grateful, you are attuning your energy to the frequency of prosperity. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates everything I'm saying. Years ago, when I was living in Colombia, I met a woman named Mrs. Carmen. Mrs. Carmen was a humble, hard-working woman who sold empanadas on the corner of her neighborhood to support her 3 children. Life had not been easy for her. Her husband had abandoned her. She had debts that seemed impossible to pay, and each day was a struggle to survive. But Mrs. Carmen had something that many with more resources do not have. An unwavering faith, a faith that did not depend on circumstances, a faith that shone even in the deepest darkness. One day, her neighbor, an elderly lady who had lived in the countryside for many years, shared this secret of vinegar with her. She said, Carmen, do this with faith and you will see how things change. Mrs. Carmen, without questioning or hesitating, simply did it. She placed her 3 glasses of vinegar, one at the entrance, one in the kitchen with her 3 grains of rice, and one in the bathroom with salt. And she renewed them every 7 days, religiously with the same discipline with which she woke up early each morning to prepare her empanadas. And you know what happened? Nothing magical happened. She didn't get a check from the sky or win the lottery. What happened was something much more beautiful and much more real. Little by little, her business began to grow, and she began to have more customers. One day, a man who stopped by every day to buy empanadas from her offered her a larger space in a local market so that she could sell not only empanadas but other dishes as well. She accepted with fear but with faith. And that small stand in the market, it became a small but prosperous restaurant, a place where people from the neighborhood would come to eat and feel at home. Was it the vinegar that did all that? Technically, no. What the vinegar did was clean the space, create the conditions, open the channels, but it was Doña Carmen, with her work, her discipline, her faith, and her heart, who walked through the doors that opened to check umzak. Vinegar was the tool. She was the artist. And that's the key that I want you to understand. These practices are not substitutes for work. They are not magic shortcuts, aka they are not secret formulas to get rich without effort. They are complements. They are aids. They are ways of aligning the energy of your space with the energy of what you desire. But the work, the discipline, the perseverance, the faith, that has to come from you, always from you. Now I want to talk to you about something that is equally important, and that has to do with the second part of what I promised you. How vinegar keeps away all evil. Because it is not only about attracting wealth, it is also about protecting yourself from those energies that try to destroy what you are building. And believe me, my friend, when you begin to prosper, when things begin to go well for you, forces appear that try to stop you. Some of these forces come from outside. The envy of others, bad wishes, the heavy energy that some people carry and leave in their wake like an invisible but toxic trail. And other forces come from within. Your own fears, your doubts, your tendency to sabotage yourself when things begin to improve. Vinegar works against both external energies because it absorbs and neutralizes them like a sponge that traps dirt, and against internal energies because when you establish a ritual, when you commit to a practice, when you dedicate time and attention to taking care of your space, you are strengthening your mind, your will, your discipline. And a strong and disciplined mind is the best protection against any form of negativity, whether internal or internal. There is something else I want to share with you about vinegar and its protective power, and it is something that few people mention. Vinegar not only cleanses the energy that is already present in your home, it also works as a preventative barrier. In other words, once you have established your practice of the 3 classes, your home begins to vibrate at a different frequency, a higher, cleaner, more harmonious frequency. And that frequency acts as a natural shield that repels negative energy before it can enter. It is like when you vaccinate a child, you do not wait until they get sick to protect them. You protect them before the disease can touch them. And I have seen this time and time again in my travels in the different cultures that I have had the privilege of experiencing. In Mexico, Grandmothers put the vinegar with herbs behind the doors to protect the house. In Peru, vinegar is used to clean businesses before opening them each morning. In Colombia, in the villages of the countryside, wise women empty the floors with water and vinegar when they feel that something heavy has entered the home. In Japan, in Shinto temple seppuku, rice lacquer is used in purification ceremonies that are thousands of years old. Different cultures, different languages, different traditions, but they all agree on the same thing. Vinegar cleanses, vinegar protects, vinegar transforms, warms. And doesn't it seem extraordinary that something so simple, so humble, so accessible, has so much power? We're obsessed with the expensive, the exclusive, the difficult to obtain. It turns out that one of the most powerful elements to transform your life costs just a few coins, and you can find it in any corner store. That, to me, is one of life's great lessons. That what is truly valuable does not need to be expensive. That the deepest wisdom comes wrapped in simplicity, and that the most powerful solutions are often the simplest. But there is a mistake that many people make when they begin this practice, and it is a mistake that can completely nullify the benefits of vinegar. That mistake is doing it without faith, doing it like someone who takes a pill expecting it to work on its own, doing it mechanically, without heart, without intention, without connection to what you are doing. Look, I am going to tell you something that I have learned throughout my life. Everything in this universe responds to intention. Everything. You can pray the most powerful prayers in the world, but if you pray them without meaning them, they are just empty words that are carried away by the wind. You can follow the most ancient and sacred rituals, but if you do them without awareness, they are just meaningless movements. And the same applies to vinegar. If you place it in the 3 points of your home, but you do it with doubt, with skepticism, with the attitude of, let's see if this nonsense works, I assure you it will not work. Not because vinegar has no power, but because you are taking away its power with your own energy of doubt. On the other hand, when you do it with faith, when every time you prepare your glass of vinegar, you do it as a sacred act, as a moment of connection with something greater than yourself, as a declaration that you are open to receiving the abundance you deserve, that is when the real magic begins. And it is not magic in the fantasy sense of the word, it is magic in the sense that you begin to see connections that you did not see before, doors that you did not notice before, but that your mind, blocked by negativity, could not perceive in us. I want you to do something with me. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Well, if you are driving, do not close them, but imagine this with me. Imagine your home right now. Imagine the entrance, the kitchen, the bathroom. Now imagine those 3 glasses of vinegar in each of those places, working silently, cleaning, purifying, protecting. Quran. Imagine how the heavy energy begins to dissolve, like fog that dissipates when the sun comes out. Imagine how your home begins to breathe again, how it is filled with a different light, a different feeling, a different vibration. Imagine how doors that were closed begin to open, how money begins to flow, not with desperation, but naturally, like the water of that has found its course after being stagnant. That image that you just saw in your mind, that feeling that you just experienced, that is what is available to you. Not tomorrow, not in a year, now, today. The moment you decide to take this step, the moment you decide to take those three glasses, you fill them with vinegar and place them where I have told you, you are already taking the first step towards a different life. Not because vinegar is magical, but because by making it, you are declaring with your actions that you are ready for a change, that you no longer accept scarcity as your destiny, that you deserve abundance as much as anyone else on this planet. And I want to share one more thing with you, something I consider very important. This practice works best when combined with other conscious actions. It is not enough to compose the vinegar if you then leave your home dirty, messy, full of things you no longer need. Physical clutter is both a reflection and a cause of energetic clutter. Every broken object you keep, every piece of clothing you no longer wear, but that continues to take up space in your closet, every door full of or full of useless things is an anchor that keeps you tied to the past and blocks the flow of abundance towards your future. The Japanese have philosophy called danari, which could be danari as the art of letting go. Dan means to reject the unnecessary. Shafka means to get rid of what is superfluous. And Ri means to separate yourself from attachment to material things. And when you practice danari together with the energetic cleansing of vinegar, the results multiply. It multiply exponentially because you are cleansing on two levels at the same time, the visible level and the invisible level, the physical level and the energetic level. And when both levels are clean, free, and clear, abundance has no obstacle to entering your life. Think of your home as a garden. If you want flowers to grow, you first have to pull out the weeds. You have to prepare the soil. You have to water consistently. You have to give the sun time to its work. You just can't throw seeds on the ground littered with stones and expect a truly abundant harvest. Understand? Likewise, you can't expect abundance to bloom in a home that is energetically polluted, physically messy, and emotionally charged. Vinegar is like the water that waters the garden, but you are the gardener. You are the one who pulls out the weeds, who prepares the soil, who tends each plant with patience and dedication. And speaking of patience, this is perhaps the most important message I have for you today. Patience. Patience. In a world of instant result, immediate gratification, and I want it all now, patience has become an almost extinct virtue. But let me tell you something. Everything truly valuable in life requires patience. A mango tree doesn't bear fruit the day after it's planted. It needs years of growth, deep roots, and weathering storms and droughts before it can offer its sweet and generous fruits. And your financial and energetic transformation process is the same. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you're consistent, if you're disciplined, if you refill your glasses of vinegar every 7 days with the same faith as the first day, you're going to see results. I guarantee it. Not because I'm a prophet or a seer, but because I've seen these principles work time and time again for different people in different countries and in different circumstances. I've seen the entrepreneur who was on the verge of bankruptcy slowly recover after implementing these changes in his office. I've seen a single mother who couldn't make ends meet, find new sources of income that previously seemed invisible to her. I have seen the unemployed young man who had been looking for a job for months without success receive an unexpected call days after starting this practice. These are not coincidences. They are consequences. Consequences of having removed the energetic obstacles that were preventing life from doing what it always wanted to, flowing towards you with all the good it has to offer. Now, before finishing, I want to summarize what we have talked about so that you are clear, so that no detail escapes you. First secret place, the entrance of your home. A clear glass cup filled with white vinegar halfway, placed behind the main door. This cup cleanses the incoming energy and opens the way for abundance to cross your threshold. Second secret place, the kitchen. A clear glass cup filled with white vinegar halfway and 3 grains of rice placed near the stove or the hortus or the hearth. This cup cleanses the heart of the home and attracts the energy of prosperity to the ancestral symbol of rice. Third secret place, the bathroom. A clear glass cup filled with white vinegar halfway and a handful of coarse salt placed near the toilet or the main drain. This glass seals the energy leak and creates a protective barrier that prevents abundance from escaping your home. The 3 glasses are renewed every 7 days. The old vinegar is discarded down the drain with running water. The glasses are washed well before being refilled. And each time you do this, do it with intention, with gratitude, with faith. Not as a mechanical act, but as a conscious act of transformation. And let me leave you with one last thought. Vinegar, if you think about it, is in itself a symbol of transformation. Do you know how vinegar is made? It is made from wine. The wine that was already a transformation of the grape is transformed once again to become vinegar. It is a substance that has gone through multiple processes of change, fermentation, evolution. And you, my friend, are in your own fermentation process. Perhaps right now you are in that dark, uncomfortable stage wherein seems like everything is decomposing. But what seems like destruction is not Disagafutsachen. It is transformation. Is life preparing you to become something more powerful, something stronger, something more valuable than you were before? Just as a grape has to stop being a grape to become wine, and a wine has to stop being wine to become vinegar, you have to stop being who you were to become who you were meant to be. Wow. And that process hurts. Sure, it hurts. But on the other side of that, pain is a version of you that is capable of things you can't even imagine today. A version of you that lives in abundance, that has left scarcity behind, that has learned that wealth is not just money in the bank, but also peace in the heart, hamat in the home, health in the body. Health in the body and faith in the soul. Today I have given you 3 keys. 3 simple, humble, accessible keys. 3 keys that cost almost nothing, but that can open doors that you have been trying to open for years with the wrong keys. The question now is not whether this works or not. The question is, are you willing to try it? Are you willing to take that leap of faith? Are you willing to do something different? To get different results. Because continuing to do the same thing and expecting different results, as a wise man once said, is the definition of insanity. I can't make you do anything. I can't force you to believe. I can't take you by the hand and take you to the store to buy vinegar. What I can do is share with you what I know, what I've experienced, what I've seen work, what I've seen work. And that's exactly what I've done today. The decision is yours now. It always has been yours, and it always will be. Because at the end of the day, my friend, the responsibility for your life is in your hands. No one is going to come and save you. No one is going to solve your problems for you, but you have the power right now in this moment to start changing things. 3 glasses: vinegar, rice, salt, faith, perseverance. That's all you need. May the abundance you seek find you, because you already took the first step by listening to these words. May the protection you need be established in your home, because today you learned how to create it, and may the transformation you long for manifest in every area of your life, because today you decided to stop waiting and start taking action. The vinegar is already waiting for you. The question is, are you ready for what comes next?